Alright, we're back. I guess this is where I left off. So, let's just continue the game. I didn't feel any pain because of fear, but I felt itching. Will we get back in time? And if so, what did the fog do to us? Were we going to be okay? So many questions I didn't know the answers to. We almost reached the grove, and I saw the electric train, our new home. Somehow, it now seemed even bigger than before. Like something more than just a clumsy, discreet, and dusty thing. The eye windows of the gas mask fogged up enough that I could barely see anything. Still, the only thing I wanted to look at was the door of that train we were wanting to get so desperately. It was hard to breathe. We were running low on air. While our hearts were beating faster, my friends were walking next to me. Oh, we're friends. We just had to make it. We were almost there. I heard a crunch under my feet. I wasn't even looking at the ground when I was walking all this time. I looked down and saw that I stepped on a dead bird. I didn't even feel disgusted. I lost all my fears, but there was only one that was left. The fear of death. We were in the balance. I saw Nicolet's face in the train window. He was looking at us, struggling with the heavy bags, walking and running low on oxygen and our regenerative cartridges. One step, another, we were almost there. Come on, you can do this. Press the buttons you see on the screen. What buttons? Well, I died. I actually died? Wow. Wow. Good game. And now I save the game, so I don't ever have to do that again. Alexander and Eugenie were almost suffocated but kept on walking, without any thoughts. The doors of the train opened, and I saw Nicolet. He was covering his nose with his hand so the fog wouldn't get into his lungs. Just a few more steps and everything would be over. The most difficult part was to climb the mount. I felt dizzy and couldn't think straight. I saw Nicolet's hand, grabbed it and hauled myself up into the train. Then I threw the bags into the tram door and ran to the train car, taking off the gas mask and throwing it into the next seat. Clear air. Finally, I've never felt so happy before, I think. I heard the sound of closing doors and saw my friends running into the car too, taking their gas masks off and trying to catch their breath. I slowly calmed down and looked around. I noticed that people were looking at us with hope. Another minute passed before we could finally speak. Nicolet and another man, whose name I didn't know, brought our bags from the tram floor. They're quite heavy, so how are you? Is everything okay? I think so. That's great. I see you brought us lots of food. Here, have some water. He gave me a bottle of mineral water, one of those we brought back from the store. Did great. Saved us all from starvation. Damn, man, that was impressive. You ran way ahead of Eugenie and me. I didn't even notice that I was running to the train first, so I just mumbled something because I didn't know what to reply. Alexander started to tell Nicolet of our trip. I got to the store, there were no survivors, the doors and windows were closed. We have no idea how the fog got inside. In addition, we found that the fog makes water poisonous. You better not touch it. He paused, looking at his hands. Fog seems to damage our skin too, if you're staying outside for too long. Every person in the car was listening to him, and I saw the hope in their eyes turning into fear and despair. I examined my hands. My skin was still red and itchy. I sat down at the edge of the seat. People were discussing something, but I didn't care. I wasn't worried about anything. The most important thing was that we were alive, at least for now. I didn't want to think about the future. Soon evening was going to fall upon us, followed by night. I felt dizzy, my eyes began to darken, and I couldn't think straight. I heard someone talking next to me. Next moment, I gave up to tiredness and fell asleep. The end of Chapter 2. Chapter 3, The Night. I couldn't understand a word that just said. The next station is Tassarisa. You know what? I'm calling it Taquito. stand clear of the doors, please. Maybe I'll never hear it again. I won't hear the voices of my nearest and dearest and ever return back home. Why don't people value what they have? I didn't value the time when I could go to work every day. I looked forward to the weekend to relax a bit, and it irritated me. I wanted more money and leisure, less work. I wanted an expensive house and a car. Now I just want to get back what I had. We didn't know if there were other people alive except us, or we were all left alone. But I knew one thing for sure: we couldn't stay here forever. We would either lack regeneration cartridges hidden in Alexander's bag, and as a result we wouldn't be able to find food. I regained consciousness and saw the train roof above me. People around were whispering. Slowly I started to recollect what had happened. I understood that I had fainted. What organism hadn't borne the tension. I wondered how much time had passed. I moved. My body was alright and my skin didn't itch anymore. Finally he woke up. Well, but he tried to get up. Want to eat or drink? No. I still felt dizzy. How much time passed? Almost 4 hours. It seemed to me nothing had changed much during that time. People got in trouble, started getting acquainted with each other and thinking how to deal with the situation. Nikolai gave me a bottle of soda. I took a sip. People who sat near us were familiar to me. Alexander, Eugenie, and the guy with the earphones. Did they ever take them off? How are you? I'm okay. What happened here when I was sleeping? Didn't miss anything interesting. We were calming people down. Some of them, especially women and elderly people, had been really nervous. I see. Nikolai waited for a few seconds and then said, well, we shouldn't relax. Let's think of what we're going to do next. Everybody remained silent and started thinking. After some time, Nikolai kept on talking. Night is coming. It'll be dark in about 30 minutes. I hope this night won't bring any surprises. Oh, I wonder if it will, since the chapter title name is The Night. What if the smoke turns people into zombies or mutants and they'll attack us at night? Andre, you better that name. Andre, you'd better stop watching these scrungy movies. After that he proceeded to the bags with food, took a beer and started drinking slowly and dreaming. Nikolai didn't pay any attention to it and kept on talking. I think we don't need to be on duty at night. We're safe here. It's a pity we can't turn on the lights in the train. There's no electricity. But it'd be cool if it were. Who didn't dream of spending a night in a communicator train? But we've got flashlights. We can hang them up in every cartridge with people. So it'll be less anxiety and they won't prevent people from sleeping. It's a good idea. Andre, you can do it and we'll continue our discussion. That's not a good idea. Why would you use flashlights? Like batteries. The guy stood up, racked it in a bag, found a couple of flashlights and went to hang them up. Nikolai sighed heavily and touched his head. It was clear that being in charge was difficult for him. He became an unspoken leader and was responsible for new ideas. I think that's it for today. Each of you can sleep on your seat. There's enough of them for everyone. Only legs will hang down. Besides, the seats are dirty. The homeless sometimes sleep on them. If you don't like it, you can sleep on that lawn. No, thank you, buddy. Jeannie managed to make angry one more person. In this situation, when everybody was nervous, one phrase can make a person mad. Okay, occupy your seats, and I'll check other carriages and tell people to go to sleep. And the train driver went out. I occupied my seat, and where I had fainted. It was situated at the end of the carriage. Other people were also talking and taking their seats. It was interesting to watch how people were forming a kind of society with its leaders and groups, where they felt comfortable in this isolated place from the world. Eugenie occupied a seat behind mine. I even noticed people who played cards. It's pleasant to see that in this extreme situation, people weren't in despair. Andre came back to the carriage, passed by me to its opposite end, and hung up a flashlight. I think everybody's got a cell phone, so you can use them as a light. Switch off my phone as the battery ran down quickly, and we might need it any time. Okay, I'm gonna end that episode here. So, thank you for watching this episode, and I hope you enjoyed.